Ebusuam nim sa wonte ya na de aba from eye Kumasi High Court ne say Lumba nkomo twetwe na ye di ho nkomo no ene ye se judge say e man mi nyina enkotena eyipa so enkosu Lumba sa oyere e man mi enu nyina ye se judge say German certificate na wo de baaye no signature wo so no e ba akopɛ na aware so de marriage certificate signature say ye mienu enti wono no wasusu ho adwene ho wo mmien na nkotena yipa so judgment ba wo case mo a utumi kire wadwene ho when asem wo court you cannot but judgment ba nko ade a obetimi a kire wadwene. I don't seem to understand if a judge or a judge now you don't trust the certificate that is from another country to be a marriage certificate. You allow or you rule say nipa no awunyi ni say o wa ware asa na ya ware no onko yekuna. I say this with no malice. Me kire ma dwen kwa. Se wu wakumem na wo ye judge na wakan ade na hwe na onim certificate marriage certificate mpa me ne san na hu ye no sa according to omo e court ni bi na e kasa yi hu ye no ba ko signature ba ko pe na wo so na eye wo certificate ni nya papa. I don't see why you would then say omkwatena se nyekuna unless say eye wo say busuafo ni nyina agitum sa Akosua Serwaa ye yere dia ewo fia ware dia ommie no ntinase enyekuna because Ghana ye ditum se ware ofie na kwa court because if fia ware kwa no court na uma ban hu si ya ware ofie a dio be man ntumi ensign kwa ware bi nka ho if it's recognized that you are legally married and I say ya ware ofie a ehun sem ne kan ye different kakra ne kan no sonko ba ya ditum ya mamre mu se wo ware ofie a utumi ware bi ka ho ya mamre kwan so ya ditum se wo ware ofie a utumi ware bi ka ho ba se wo ko ware wo court a wuntumi enware bi nka ho ko koye ne sa pe ne wato court mra court no ubedi. But the judgment that came out ewie na afamani so even before the judgment came out according to omo court no obi a court obi a na court room obi and do na ye pam free court room so mum be about for whatever reason I don't know. I don't seem to understand. I'm just confused. And you see, it makes no sense if really you see one certificate and as a certificate that has just one signature. I think you could have gone further to look for a legal person who is a German lawyer. As a judge, you can call for a German lawyer or somebody from the embassy to verify the certificate. Womude buy if wadwen ye ntanta. Because we knew me na yen ko Germany da and as me ma ko Germany da but yen worry wo Germany da. I don't know whether the judge has married a German burger before or something, I can't tell. But so wadwen ye ntanta na feel say certificate wadwen ye ntanta na eye wo say certificate nipa nde buy no sa certificate no en sa ba akopɛ na hyase enti wunyi ni sɛ sansa na ye ba akopɛ no your original certificate there. The next level of action is to call in somebody from the German embassy to interpret or even get the certificate to the German embassy to interpret whether the certificate is genuine or not. Because there's a German kasa na certificate ne washo. You could have asked them to interpret what that certificate is about so that ye ni nyina beba bontim ye hu so certificate no fake and na say enye fake ne fia ware e na wo ho because if fia ware ye ngu no o ti de me da se pa o ti de me pa che na se let's you see we be president so nti si ya nye ni ye ni anhwe ni ye ni anka asem ni ye a ebetimi akowie bone am obia uti obi a waware bia no hye ne so we fa odo Bronii anasa Akosua Serwaa ho we a court case I da wa nei obi enya issue bi say o tam de court a lawyer betimi agina no so so case Akosua Serwaa versus President Odo Bronii case say na judge ne and fa say Lumba popular enti na bia judge ne gina so aka say mempe ne totoro ne no anti ana mpanyimfo bia bamti ene ye ne say it doesn't matter. It becomes a precedent. So let's watch what we do and how we do our things here in Ghana. Charlie. It becomes a precedent and found and nipa no oye kwahwe abakora no a na asem say ba obema lawyer court you sue and cite that as an example. It becomes a precedent. So we should be careful about it. Me chirama dwe me say judgment ba wotumi chira wadwe e wo court wa wotira wadwe ne yi na mom judgment ba dia wotira wadwe yi. I'm legally married as well. And this is not my first marriage legally. Second one, you're good to court. What did they mention? And to say, nay, me certificate, Ghana certificate, no signatures also. By a worry, minu, more Germany, you can come out and say, some more Germany, certificates, nipa mienu na sign abako. We want to know. We have to interrogate this matter. And we'll go deep into it. I will find a way to get somebody in Germany to explain to us what Germany, because it sounds like Akosua Serwaa worry and krata 70. And this is not it happens. A lot of people go through this. In fact, at the Krema Samoja and Tididimu, the same thing. And sometimes your husband or wife can even encourage you to do that. And later, because of unkolanitis, you get in cracked half unkola. Later, no, ebi ono krano be covered by it. What do I say? I'm a bit confused. She did not play her role as a wife. I don't know what you mean by she didn't play a role. What you broche what to find that you understand some of these issues. What you broche now what worry pay so what you say? Sebe ma say o ye dwamanfo. Now ye yire now ti aware ho. Na be ma so ye dwamanfo obefiri ni gire chi akoba bifufra wo yesa wo kofie ho kra akotena se atena waware ho kra ye mankwan enso no ompene ma ye nya o uhia be ma oye kononwo kaya ono a wontene no ho ware wo na sade ye so ye wo fie no wonye ono so a wo makwan ma wonko uhia bi da check and ask. There are some men who are konongo kaya ompe. Anasa watena wabre. But say binti o ma kwan ma wonko. I'm not saying Lumba is konongo kaya. Wo wasema dia banti na mesumechire maju. Or say I'm legally married and I live in America with my husband. Yes. And to be honest with you, se nipa na wo ware no se wo ware no not Ghana. Ena Oba Ghana na some copy abroach na Moba Ghana no so ma bi a different conversation. No my free muntie to me. The only person who can really tell the real story is the dead man, who didn't like talking about his issues. Enti na hube here sometimes I see a document some of these things. And then the living wife. But ono kra no te ase no betime di ntro. Enti wo mu mienu na ka ayefe ne kana ya ni kasem. Ba abroche want to me nye adwuma nsore prekope one day nkase meko leave and answer me kunawu ubetimi age some days off say a year but want to me nsore keke embetna Ghana say wo ye adwuma na oni obi ye adwuma ne ya ma kwan say betna Ghana bo so me mienu miensa answer ye da no kra so but Ghana ha de Ghana po ye ma kwan sa you will not be given that much days and months to come and stay with ebusia and ebusia fie se ukuna wunti ubedi kuna Ghana po adwuma company bia no e be ma kwan se tina fie bosome because ukuna frim they would give you time to mourn your husband but you will not be given 2 months to stay at home just because your husband is dead say adwuma nya wo de a enti mesramo ye kasa ye ne anwene ho ye se wuntu kwan da komo a egba wonti ase you cannot just get up. You can't. Ghana, sometimes you have 30 days leave, sometimes 25 days. But that's 25 days leave the whole year. Ye mubi to meet him. Anything else should except doctor's report can be at the basa o yare. Bibi na yo untia. Anything else, Doctor's report must be added to it. So you cannot just get up one day and say because of this, you are just leaving whatever you are doing and coming. Now, let's say, so Ujaya Jumana Betnefi. Nasa Bibi Chen would dashwa. A bear or sending Panibe Jaya Babetnefi. It's not easy like that. Enough from. They may call America, may call high dine. Me kreska. Meant me a high dine on my own. Ghana, oba now person hide down free Cuba, America, and Henfa, the here so who agent, a die be wo. Ukreska nkwa dia betimi high. Background check papa bien why. We don't do any bad whether you have credit or not, whether you are legitimate or what the kind of job or Ghana, obi an check it. The here so ukreska, you can say 1 year, 2 years, says can kura wantina Nigeria for be 2 year will be papa I say it now. Into the rents in Kraha, Nebuayedi because Nigerians come in, they have the money and they're able to rent anytime and anywhere they want. Anywhere. Lebanese for about more rented than China niba or rented than Mekwa America meant to me, it's not like Sike Krami. Me se met me a training, no, say no. You cannot. Just I mean to me cry and 3 months in boom. Say me 3 months because me bagan and me 3 months. There be I can't do that. I have to pay in installments. No installments. Monthly. Me kwa say me kwa money order. A day. Who are limits. You cannot just buy money order boom like that. You can't. But I could do that. I could have done that. I was Ghana. And to obiana ne shisha no obiana ne mra. So let me tell you, my issue is I am teasing the issues out of the judgment. I am just teasing the issues. From day one, I said, "Omu ye 1 week ni mani ye fe. Omu ye ni na see ye ne fe. But 1 week I had issues with it because some people or a lot of the people made it look like Akosua said what didn't matter. Maybe she's a stranger. She came from nowhere. And waba betum. Omu etu nyumo aduafu when you apart from adua ye boeje. Aduafu enyumtufu Ghana phobia because and you can't blame all of them because maame no so na nipa na Lumba ware na cha kuti abrochire obi anim no. And when it happens like that, ye to me can share because nipa no nim on to me make like on to me treat too say oh yeah some way somehow onimo. What the emetry? And the auto more, the obo more, so the woman felt left out. The next thing she knew, yeah, she said, yeah, more na money. I actually let her say, Okra utina ye so di bembia woman in tia. That stroked the camel's back. According to Omono, brought about this whole matter. Yes, sir, nka bibi anyho. So them nka bibi anyho. Nti me de enka omi ni na atenase eyi paso. Ye and Kenya bad. So or worry omuna legitimately. Sometimes maybe we all cry but because the most important in Japan, that is where the whole thing could here. But maybe they be America. Told be our bob bread baby. Obi Japan when in your home. And found so no. Because so bob now you're there. Ye chimbaku diarrhea. Ebi our betray manasay. But won't trim because you don't have it until copy. Enti na yempa adwumane yempa bibi man what did they make you say e japade so se be oba na ya be ma mo mu chefa. It's not just one way oba na ya be ma eso wo e japade mu chefa. It's sad. Like I don't know, I just want I think more details should come out so we all understand the whole issue. That certificate in legitimate na emom ogifie de ne tum because abusuafo na ni Akosua Serwaa enti so ogifie de ne tum a na oba odo Bronii so yesi aware wo fie a according to report no how who and who because according to omo ekwa court no apart from abusuape yin kwa ka say waware no kwa anko bi enti it looked like nobody was there to actually testify there was a marriage like that. Busuapenyin never testify, but Busuapenyin or testify, you know. One kobi or say yes, say because Busuapenyin from day one said Onua Bronii. What did the say? I am saying, sir, we could give if we decide to give judgment because of the person's fame and nipa no din bi or and answer and sebidi na baby. It will not help because it will serve as a precedent. Better ho. Issues like this, ni yede no be susu dia. Ni yede no edi enseme buansem. Me name say be a court to seek for an appeal. But I'm believing, say, if there was a legal marriage, our document in your correct. I mean, we need to know whether the document is genuine or not. It's very important. So that we all understand each other, knowing, say, document a cranny panel, then ye papa no de koye. Say, bear, certificate a yen I want, ye be say certificate fast also. Yes, our certificate in a crying, ye better team. Then there's no need to have a certificate at all. And it doesn't matter, send the parent baby, ni clothes baby, nti, our any home, minim sad. Because people can actually marry and decide to live different places because of a juma, because of Niema Bebre, and meet as and when they want to meet. As and when they want to meet, depending on the marriage couple, how they decide to live their marriage life is their business. And if our really hope you might ye koko gunu chucham and the certificate, divorce certificate, they call ye fire no, and now letter. Ye fa letter kekese me person me die warrior. Ye the divorce certificate na kotre. E bi dance here say a warrior no ye ko twem wo court. Yama ye certificate any. Do you understand? Ye the divorce certificate ko ya kotre say ye twem wo court any. Enye sa wo ye judge a wo tumi ntina ho keke nkase nipa no we fia warrior say for some time nti na warrior da go. I don't seem to get it. Papa. That's why I'm saying the judgment must come out for us to understand exactly what went the reasoning, because you can criticize or share your opinion about judgments, which is legally right. Because yet to no be quiet judgment we are say was he a binum same rado SCB. We are animal farm. Emma Attorney General, Ghana's Attorney General, Bible and Tebe condemn me and say no. This judgment is not correct. Although Nipa na can asem no so, shouldn't buy or done it wasn't right. Which I understand. Ye can what them say ye nyepe. Because me the president nyepe. Me to be the first lady. Minister be nyepe. Me to minister of penny be say at Duncan William and nyepe. But before the eyes of the law, we are all equal and must be treated equally. Says Duncan William, ekobokronwa. Na mesum kobokronwa. Ye chimini ye chinwa. We must be treated equally and found ways of opinion in front of the law. Although, ma, please, embassy to verify it. Did they consult? That is my question I asked. If you were confused about the certificate, did you find out? Because there's a German embassy here, right here in Ghana. And just as Ghana, Ukawaria, AMA, and answer call to Niadiano, there's always documentation that you can always follow up and find out if really it has been gazetted or if really has been like, the certificate. Because a bit to me for this certificate. Yes, oh yeah, a bit for this certificate. But baby also a worry, you know. Uko, whether marriage or divorce, uko, register wo book mu say osimesi be ware ha, because yet certificate ni mawa part of it eka book mu. They don't tear everything out. They leave some into that book is unless a honashi. Now that document is gone because I had a paper same one. It's sad. Like that's all I want. Like it's sad because one sheni year. Ni ankani afan to be a day year. As I said, for me, I feel so both of them deserve to do a kuna. Although I don't believe in side chick. I mean, can say we be a me no case me fan. I know it matter. I just feel so obato bi kunu ho a de sene fata ne de. And try manipulating frame now kokon ho ntokwa. You have no right there. Who need right be a ho? Obato bi kunu ho a behave like me bato bi kunu. And fan was on na wonsia because look. Obata no ho na no wonsia akora no a wonya warefo. Difference room. Unless say and they minim semra or cohabitation, which meaning parents now for some time, a cohabitation legally, but not when somebody is legally married. Not when somebody is actually legally married with certificate. Enti Monday, nyame adumwa, Odomdum ya ini na ebedi hu nkomo. We would want to find out from lawyers. We would want to find out from Germany. Find out how a German marriage certificate looks like. If there was any determination of a divorce, we should see the certificate of a married divorce in Germany. And anana ye come some court. Na wo tia broche na wo mam pacho. Brempoma. Judge lawyer the need na some man. All those here friend many bejina dakem. Lawyer the need na some man. We probably don't even know the situation. Let's be mindful. And I think say both busuafo no and I say parties no should not jubilate to get another angry. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. It is not necessary. Because so be better like I say I want to move on court that comment too is quite dangerous. It makes it look like you can buy anybody at all. I am not saying it cannot happen. But it also gives conclusion and it's not the right thing to do. I say I'm shocked. Yes. I was also surprised. I was surprised because I felt according to media for and bloggers and who share the way the documents go, way the no one fact marriage certificate there was no picture cry they called the dance no sound some way there was no picture nothing to show this one is married if ye die po ya mfa bibia kra ankokyere se fie die ni se sa be man ko obi what say man ko obi but minu akwa metanko specifically said that onim se kwan bia so enya no wan say judge beka say e man ni mienu nyina nyekuna this morning before the judgment came out
pastor said they make case case be out no odobro ye kura be nwa the original money host enya nwa so odobro ni be enya say me ntimi nkasa ba ko no ye nware no se metimi nkasa baby say here no is to take care away me boy so onka ho na me see pay me ma follow there enya me nwa so obeye kuna ni ai
ade na mo ko wonu kra na odobro nyi wa wi bia di ene na nya kuna na me kwara se ade na ma na ku won ho de ade na nkasa no odobro nya wi bia di ene nya we nya kuna
the international money host
fine
why
oh me to me de nya me nwa
okay
enya me nwa say ya ka se odobro ni kuna ni enya me nwa
Abizabayi
na me hu professional
before the judgment came out. So is it that these days we can actually know judgments before judgments are read? Because proceedings no bloggers ne mai who proceedings they koi na sa utie proceedings no from the bloggers ne dia that shouldn't have been the case. If that was what it is, that shouldn't have been the case. And our brain wetitibini. Please, that's also neither here or there. Me mama no be the heno. And money pan me mama ba. That doesn't also mean so say nipa no so yes adwuma na e from so because as I said, the only person who can really tell nipa no we free mu. So dem tell because obi to be kwadi obi aware ebo so a oba na wo ti aware ho no ye fi wo so ye ma wonko. And oba bi so ti aware ho ya aware bone ono so betimi na dwen so onko ono so a onware papa or body brab onko because of so sika wenya ne fame bia wenya what you say ni sika bia wenya ne fame bia wenya. If you cannot prove somebody's certificate and the other person who was also traditionally married could not bring anybody to testify that I was there 2010 when the marriage went on there, there's a problem with the judgment. If there was nobody there to prove, and the person who said, who couldn't even say he was there or give proof of the marriage, and if a marriage certificate also had just one signature, trouble day. There's more to it than just what happened in the judgment that is out. I'll say I just pray if the judge is a woman. She is. Fortunately or unfortunately, or your bar, But sometimes maybe I know his lordship era Bronii, Chief Justice. Or call Parliament here to no say atai your man 70 years. Nessa will book more or man 70 years because no who can what it is 70 about abranted your year no who slow say. So a man in 10 years and now 15 years or ya branty or by saba. Or by be your no justice Bronii or in a bush for 1 year. No, I call you much that I may be a way or bonity. Mamma 70. Coco who na asamba or body and also goes to me by Emery. But do 17 so to me crap ya or banana cram free. According to a year judge. What I say? So it was not based on what he thought it was the right thing, but based on what he thought on his feelings or how he felt at that moment. So you might not know who actually sat on the case and why the person did it that way. You might not know. Because Obi or a third wife, second wife, Obi also ebia ono so kwatino obi de ho ana obi de no ono na wo ana bibinti. I'm not saying that is what it is. I am not saying that is what it is. I'm only using one judgment by Onua and Serwaa at Parliament to say that sometimes if that is what it is, it means they can because judge you are the pain. What they obi a oye krofo kwa da nimu awan hwe man be 1 million years, especially in 2 years so pay without actually looking at the merits of the case. But your minimum and maximum sentence into one maximum ni nyina so e bia na nka nipa na first time offender so to me man minimum na mfimfini o hwe how a nipa na plead guilty na based on that obeka so wonu e plead ya when waste court time unti mama o say ko. But because e bia bibi sa ato no penti otumi twama wa ojuno na nyam na plead guilty anka me se man waste time tim ka de hummobo kakra mesu kura po aye so hummobo ya ye mfimi. What I say? But the Etiabiano, I believe in peace. I believe in joy. I believe both women should have been allowed to deal with the issue. And I busuya for noa a you to pack because a maufi a busuyan maum could have sat them down to deal with this matter without it going to court because case ne. And in some bebre pia ni yenim fa Lumba this particular case and in some bebre ne bebre so asua nyan sa afrim titiri ne mema no omo pema bebrebe no ene ye ma ya ware a ebia sa ebinti yeso usu besua bibi afrim usu besua bibi de afrim so what ya ware ase na ukura certificate se sa na asem ne tia eno enye enough to say ukra certificate nti asem say ba when obenya utie didim according to the judgment certificate is just a mere paper if the certificate is genuine. If it is genuine, it's just a mere paper according to the judgment. Particular say lawyer see because if you abandon your marriage for some years it's like I don't know what that means and who determines abandonment. If I decide to come home to come and visit my husband and my husband doesn't allow me to come home, or excuse mamia, am I the one who has abandoned the marriage or the person involved has decided to make me abandon the marriage? Yanjuni whom you know me say maware na me besra me kunu na me kunu ma me excuses me cry my ya me kwa ade chimete ha otena me kwa efie no kura say me ye ne ye o de wo ba kura ya akotena ha na me ba ho o de eno no me na ma abande ana se nipa no na ama me kwan ma abande na nipa no na ma me looking like me ma abandon. We should look at it holistically and found not because I'm a woman, because it involves two women a family who because me your ba and now we beka say I be our warranty ukura certificate nti no, because we first married if you are worried. And I was okay with it. The man was not ready to marry two. No, onye na dwe so be worry me no, but no asantini. Excuse my French, asantifo no dodo na mema no mo mpe court sem. Opefia worry enye se bi opese o worry me no nti. Obi wo ho so a no nimse ne mpra atwe nti. One man should be or tina fast man now ko baby a fast maba. Into your if you are a nasa. No way in any. Oh, damn it. No way in any. But I was okay with that. What I say because I'm hard working. Believe you me woo coffee. It was I think 2 months. October, November, yeah, 2 months. Na ye twaba. 2004 abato. Na mo takrade. I was in charge of the Western region. Correspondent na me tuka me jame ba ho me twim enufunso me jano ho na me nem me ba najo. And I've been like this since. Me kwa America. I was doing delivery. Me tuka napa. Me sorry no nsia. In fact, earlier than 6. Because I don't play with my exercise. Me my exercise we yeah aduane sikem. Me tuka napa. Me ben nwumre no wotwe. Me tuka napa me ben nwumre no wotwe. Because my rent was about $2,000. Bills in come. Yeah. Sometimes you have to even beg me say akofie. Oh, let me tell you. So I naturally wouldn't even depend on a man to say I'm dependent on a man's property or I'm dependent on and I probably would fight. That's so I'm only trying to establish something so it doesn't look like because I have certificates I'm doing this or I don't have certificates I'm doing that. I'm just sharing my thoughts. And judgment ba what me chira wadwe fam. Ultimate chira madwene edwadane ya chire ne yi because every judgment becomes a precedence that you can use to file your case. If there's any other case that looks or has a similarity that looks like that, man. Oh, file out to me the no case say according to so and so in this judgment, this is what happened. Me there, we will go into it. We will delve into it. We need to speak to lawyers, local lawyers and foreign lawyers. We need to see the judgment because you can we are ni or try the judgment so go into details no will tell you exactly why a case went this way or that way. And unyam pie ya to meet the wadwe be pie kura no and be tell exactly why your corn say also to produce offspring. Also says the judge's decision was the right decision. I want to understand why. I'm not saying it wasn't. Awokra, then can't say it wasn't. I just want to understand why. My point is, if somebody had a marriage certificate and another did not have one, and the other did not, so I am saying, say baako kura certificate na baako if you are no wenya dance for, but certificate no yes say signature baako pen e wo so. Enti ye susu say bi kura enya papa. Na de ono so dia dance ye de fie de ne be dia dance a wenya obi anyina mama no. Ya kan mienu na abom say mumienu na nkoye kuna e ho na me kan say mente ase papa o te ase sa na ti unless the judgment comes out well judge ne ntro ye ma ye hunu de esi ye at the kronti or take it that stand so that I just want to understand the whole thing and get because how should a marriage certificate look like in Germany? First question. What I say so now both women are married to one man. Enti e fia ware na waje ni mienu atum say ye fia ware enti wo mienu na akwaye kuna ana asumdwe enti munkwaye kuna mbom. I just want to get it. Say obi de certificate ni ye hu signature ba ko nti enya papa ba ko no so ono so de no wanya dance for nipa okodi dance e kire say no ni obi ba on de wate se ye ware no eno ni ye gina ni mienu so akasa ni mienu nti mu mienu na ya awafo nti munkwa ware ana munkwaye kuna ana. What would I feel the judge's decision will empower side chicks. No, it's not necessarily so. If truly she was married with fear warrior, na ebia na certificate na Akosua Serwaa one yes certificate original. Because you and I know some abroche warrior is in krata 70 bibia to me see. E ho nsem ne ya na edo so kakra. Sesa na tia na meti ote de meti ase sesa na tia na ate ase say nti na maame ne ana judge no decide so be asem ni say because said no korese nipa no ye fia ware na enye obi dance ni am media dance trodo say pictures ni me niemani ye ware mo fie busumi say ne ye ware me ha ne ye ware me nipa wo simesi obentio na se nipa obentio simesi o nyina ente asede a something must prove. If there was nothing like that and the certificate too had just one signature, then both of them, if that is what it is, cannot be called wives. And it's about certificate nya papa na ne fie aware de no ho ne yankogunu a ono ye fie aware ni. Enti nipa no betimi atwempena won chen enya aware fofra ka ho. Ni na ya ate se be obi abe safe. O ti ase se be ya obi abe safe. And nobody will just sit somewhere and say, then if you're a side chick, you have rights. Because she might not be a side chick. She might be legally or legitimately married to. But there should be a judgment. No? My judge say, when intimi susu do Bronii ye ware no. When intimi susu Akosua Serwaa share no mum court de na o kan say okoye and I said the nkrata na o di fi Germany ba na nya papa. Because yakwa German embassy and I am a German judge and a German lawyer and a German certified registrar. Yeah, oma kwan to me Emma certificate. Abedia dance here say certificate here the buy German certificate ni nipa mienu na sign na nya papa. Because your certificate cannot be the same as somebody's own outside. You cannot assume that because nipa mienu na warranty signatures ni nipa mienu signature na ese baso. You cannot assume because Ghana hakwa worry we sign it usually they give the certificate to the woman self. Well, I all by fancy and makes it look like na worry here enti omu we are normal the certificate na mo ba na say o certificate ni but a certificate nya me certificate a certificate ni but they give it to the woman. What you say? So those are the questions why is Ghanaians don't think about themselves. Who say why not? Mawario. Semina I'll be some Mawaria, in part of certificate, meet him the actual. I'm Mawari. Misumu was certificate. Mawari. And it's not any bako. They have a right to. And I won't worry, so I won't let's own to me to the wardrobe because and yet ni papa no be na dwen so worry. Well, be ho be na dwen so worry be a Roman soft penny. Roman soft and I say none. But no so interest own to me too for. I worry for and I want to me and so wardrobe. I know you can say and only so interest marriage in Ghana is not safe. That's not it. That's not it. It's supposed to be. I say I relax. I did go is which one? Also, marriage is not about certificate. It is about certificate. It is about certificate. Mr. Ukra certificate awo to me pa. That is what it's supposed to be. Me jitum say worry and yet so worry so worry like niema bebre and the chest so worry. Uno kunote mo dabum mo nam mo mukra na you know I mean but certificate is very important. Marriage is about certificate. Utumi ye fia warrior, but a fia warrior no, as is bibia to me see. As a woman, you are not safe. Because I ain't there no, uye fia warrior ni awari ni pa miensa. Now, unu ukunu nete. Na ya mo amani yeso wawari mienu aka ho. Unim. Ba onu nete ye japadia. Ofri mu a, woni mienu no beka ho ache wa bra wo ti ba bia wo emmeboa wo ma mo ware ya na say they were not part of the process because when you are married sometimes you give your all. Meka you give your all. Musika eya wo sema ware odo no ho no musika ye musika. Enti eto na bi kura bi oba no na wo sika a wo de bo abema. Ama na pepega because sometimes se bema oba wo sika na bema ni sika ya na is some way and bema jina ye some way. So you want to help your man to get to a level where he will be a man to take over and be the man of the house. And sometimes you would want to support in any way that you can to get him up to a level to be able to manage the home like a man. And if a fear warrior na wo yes na say bia wo twempena mienu won chen wakoye mari mienu ho adie wa bra wonim enti enne me call a trek na oshoba ne fie one na ewo one mienu na ewo wo so te ho nim se wo nkwa ne aye ho ade a wo te a eda be ma ne beto no e ma ne mienu e beka ho ne wo okunu ejapade mu chefa enso na wo ne okunu na abra na wo kura na bia wo de usika bo a be ma no e ma ne yes a ejapade no. Because sometimes women, when you are too much in love, or men when they are too much in love, or more register as I say, Mr. and Mrs. To the big grand Mr. and Mrs. Yet to me, my crime, my bearman, the bearman who crab me a register for a woman, or babbit me up for which I quite register as I say, Munina Mundi Busika, see, die, and say, I'm so. No, I quite register. It's winning. BBC, Munina Moche. And so crass certificate. It prevents any other woman coming close to that. And certificates in crown, and yet enough, Sabia. Oh, Kotasa, say I try Mr. and Mrs. It's not enough because anybody at all can be Mr. and Mrs. Because a muja warrior, no warrior about for that woman becomes another Mrs. Brefo. So my brother's wife can decide to come and say Mrs. Brefo, ejapadi and mejapadi because I'm also Mrs. Brefo. Nti so shena ye tro mato bibia ya tro nana ya Brefo danso. Mr. Kwame danso. Yemi na edi woso. What did they say? Let's say it tells that the thing is for both of us. Ochnebi and for how be ama. Do you get what I'm? Yes. So certificate is very important, and when you have it, ukra to me bi, ukra certificates na ukra to me bi. But yes, in America says ya nhwe ye na de asi say yentumi improve certificate na na ekro ba na nye papa dia Kamia said na ye making nonsense of that certificate na ekro ye no say yentumi improve say nye papa Kamia said na certificate na ekro ye nyina na nye emfa so bi eni so ehu hia say obekọ akọ certificate because only be ma bobra de o wan so oba no ana de o wan so oba na eba no wo dia na emom de oba ya ma ya aka ho mo dia emfa ho ni nipa kro de nisika ye aware ja ye ba chefa wom both sides nipa ne free mu a ye chichem se nipa na anya wo kra court be hwe me ye chichem ma de oyo yire na nya bi ne manya bi de oyo yire nya bi ma ne manya bi side check nka ho de oyo side check awom one ne wo ma ne ma benya bi ba do ba ne de wunya bi o tia se oba ne de wunya bi oba no wo ye side check wo ma benya bi ba wunya bi ba se ye fia ware de a na mumienu ana amiensa ne ya ware mu fie de a mu nyina mu wo mu chefa e wo de nipa ne ye bra mu hia. It is when you marry the person, whatever the person did after becomes something that you legitimately have a right or a stake in it, not before. And yet the na me once so oba e mesimi dan dadade a wonka ho but ye toy ya na me toy after no se me no oti a menya adwuma po na msika nka ho bia ma ye aduane ama wadi me hwa akoda bia na me ye bibi ma wonya ho koye adwuma ma wonya sika de ye enti ye be ma mu chefa kakra. What did them change? See, ukra certificate hunya uni obi ani twaka uni obi ani ye chempe enti me dey me try judgment no maka bi. I'm really interested in it. I really want to understand. I really want to get it. I don't have a problem. I've said it and said it over and over. Both of them doing kuna. Many problem with it because at a point, Lumba friend nedo, but me do there. Utumi sure be dum. What I say? Utumi sure be dum any like. Obi to me no trim plan the more than so now. Like, and the person really loves you, and that's the truth. Because you can love two men or two women at the same time, differently. Yes. You can love two men or two women at the same time, differently. And a genuine love, and then last two. You can love two men or women differently at the same time. And you just cannot let go any of them too. Because any one of them would jai bakwa ebe how in a way. What I say? Because obi to me e kwatwe mpena be ka kire na yire say ne mpena ne jaya na no referee ho no or wan hwa akobode yira mane say osimesi e jaya mi o menya broken heart so na open yire no nye so we jaya odo no pa enso odo mpena ne differently because obian said the oye ne niam ne de odo wo nipa ne ho. It does happen. Yes, it does happen. It does happen. Yeah. It does happen. Mami Fancy, I think I'm talking plenty. I've made my point. And you better one come on so Juada. I mean, we will need to delve into it. We would have to continue, get the whole thing, know where it's going to, and the Akosua. Why? All right. I thank all of you. I needed to share my thoughts. It's a trending issue, and sometimes you need to share your thoughts. Until you're trying full judgment in Pia Bonte, and then we will know exactly what went into it. All right. Ciao.